Hey everyone, we have some super exciting news this coming week. Episode 100 of the Dynamic Leaders podcast is finally going to drop. We've been teasing it all week with some audio clips, and if you haven't already listened to that, I encourage you to go back into the archives with Talent 409 or the Dynamic Leaders podcast, either of those accounts, and listen to those little clips that we're teasing with Mary Wise, who is the head coach of the women's volleyball team at the University of Florida. It was an awesome conversation, and I'm so glad that we were able to line up Mary for episode 100. I'm super excited about the episode releasing and to do something a little bit different. A few weeks ago, we had reached out to listeners and to just followers of the show and asked them to put together their own little clips about why they like or why they love the Dynamic Leaders podcast. And fortunately, we had some people reach back out. I had my good friend Brittany clip these all together, make it sound really good, better than anything that I could ever do. So we wanted to share this with everybody leading up to the 100th episode, get you excited, get you pumped up, in addition to those clips with Mary. So without further ado, here is what Brittany put together. Thank you to her. Thank you to everyone that took the time to make a little video and send it along. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed the first 100 episodes of the Dynamic Leaders podcast, and here's to the next 100.
Hey everyone, I am Colin's wife, Christine, and I'm here to share with you why I love listening to the Dynamic Leaders podcast. Well, number one, I am a guest on it sometimes, which I think is pretty cool.
Every episode is unique and gives me perspective. I like how the podcast allows me to connect with people and learn about their journey.
I listen and love the Dynamic Leaders podcast, obviously because the content's great. You wouldn't be listening if it wasn't.
Hey, Dynamic Leaders. What I love about the podcast is hearing the various paths and the backgrounds that have shaped the perspective of all of these different leaders.
Number two, really, I just think it's awesome to hear from so many people who are making a difference in their respective fields. I get a lot of motivation and inspiration from listening.
The podcast has also helped me understand how I can morph into a better leader.
But on top of that, you get a diverse guest list. You're never going to hear that same story twice.
The host is a pretty cool guy too. Can't wait to see what the future holds. Best of luck. Keep it going, Kyle.
Colin will be interactive with his listeners. You have a question, he'll answer it on a given episode. That's why you listen, and that's why you get to learn something new each episode.
The Dynamic Leaders podcast really is a great tool. Even though I didn't consider myself a leader, I now have listened to all of these stories and examples from other people's experiences that show me that I can step up and I can be a leader in my own way in both my professional and personal life. So thanks, Colin.